born an athlete, you'll die an athlete. It's in your DNA.
You're an athlete. Live like an athlete so that you can be successful in life.
You're an athlete. Live like it.
ANA, America needs athletes.
Good to go. Welcome, athletes, into the gym closet for another episode. Episode, what was it, 148?
148.
Great.
148.
It's a lot of episodes, but thank you for joining us. If this is your first episode that you're joining us, please go on and hit subscribe. This is for everybody watching on YouTube. If you're watching this and you haven't subscribed yet, hit subscribe so that we can do this and we can do it live and we can do some other cool stuff. We have to have subscriptions to do that, but without that plug. If this is your first time, Krave Gym, or the Gym Closet is a Krave Gym podcast. We talk about everything that we do about in Krave Gym, how to live like an athlete, because living like an athlete is living greatness. And so being successful in life, that's the definition of living like an athlete. And so we talk about everything, whether it be physically in the gym, things that are going to help you optimize your physical strength and well-being, or if we're talking about outside of the gym and trying to optimize your life, that's what we do in the Gym Closet. So if you get any good information, please share this with a friend, and so that we can build that. And please, 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 I'm going to say it again after it. If we will have a little link pop up and hit subscribe on our page, because the more subscriptions we have, the more information we can give out, the more cool stuff we can do. But we need you to subscribe. So if you're listening to this on YouTube and you're not subscribed yet, I'm talking to you.
Zach, are you subscribed?
I am subscribed, actually, yeah.
Are you subscribed?
Yeah, I
Okay.
looked yesterday because I'm like, I better subscribe.
I better be. Oh, yes, because I would have yelled at you for sure.
I know. I wouldn't have brought it up if I wasn't subscribed.
That's a good point.
Or
That's a
then
good
I
point.
was 100% confident that I was.
For sure. So today we have a bunch of cool things. We're talking about the new season. We're talking about an athlete of the week. We're talking about different announcements for Krave. We have our craving results from over the weekend, which was the 4th of July weekend. So we have that result, and I'm sure everybody put into practice that craving over the weekend.
Right after that.
And then we have our word of the week as well. So what do we want to start with?
I don't know. Zach gets to pick because he has to go in 15
Okay.
minutes.
We have a discussion on.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we
so,
also have
okay.
it too.
So that's part of craving, right? We'll do a craving. out
Well,
of it?
this is not even the craving.
Oh,
we have
no,
a
it's
different
not.
craving.
we have a different discussion.
This is just a
But
discussion
I told
topic
Zach we need to
that
bring this up
Amber
because this
got.
just blows my mind.
Okay.
So he was in the gym Monday, or
Oh,
was it
what
last
day
week?
was it? It was,
Maybe
yeah,
last
last week. I think maybe Thursday or
Okay.
Wednesday or Thursday. I don't know. Sometime last
So
week.
I was like, did I ask you what you're gonna go home and do, or what
Yeah.
or what you're doing? Oh, because Haley was gone, and I'm
Haley
like, oh,
was
you're gonna
gone,
have to make
yeah.
your own dinner. What are you making? He's like, I'm making chili. I can't wait. And I'm like, chili in the summer? He's like,
love
oh yeah.
chili.
He's like, I'll make a huge thing of it, and then I'll have it for leftovers.
Yeah,
Like,
I freaking love chili.
I love
And-
chili,
me too, but it's
but
just not
it
like
wouldn't
a.
be something I would even think about making in the summer.
I love
to be
chili all the time.
'Cause
And
it
you
was
know
like-
why?
You're
Because
right.
I eat it in my air-conditioned house,
Right.
and I
so-
don't eat it outside. So what does it matter what the temperature is outside? But yeah, like the
That's
a very
judgment
good
that I
point.
got from Amber for even saying that, I don't even know what the ass made, because that's how much I'm excited about my chili. Is
Like the suspense leading up was like you're gonna go grill out like a nice big steak.
yeah,
or
no,
something.
I'm gonna make myself a pot of chili. It's so freaking good. For those of you, okay, I have to even just tell you too. So, it wasn't me making it, which is I'm sure why it didn't win like the official first place title. But I have like my chili recipe that is like very scientific. You know,
Okay,
like
okay.
chili's my expertise.
Okay.
And my dad a couple years ago took it to the town chili contest.
Okay. Your small town of like
Town of
5
how many?
people.
It's 500 people.
500.
But there were other people
how many
there too.
entries?
It was like a whole. There was like
People
like
didn't know.
7.
there was like 10 or 12 entries.
Okay.
People
Yeah,
love
so.
that stuff.
So this
People
is
love
the
chili.
this is the
People love chili cook-offs.
So
No.
this is the international chili cook-off.
Yeah, so there were like 10 to 12
what
different
town?
chilies there. Latimer.
Latimer, Iowa. So this is
yeah.
the international chili cook-off,
Yeah.
worldwide
Mhm.
chili cook-off of Latimer, Iowa.
And it won the People's Choice Award
That's
as
awesome.
That's
the
awesome.
best
Good job.
chili.
Okay.
So
So in the winter, I'm gonna have you make some for us.
yes,
Is
or
it-
you can do it
Do
anytime.
you do a big? Is it spice?
I can make it either way, whatever you want.
What do you like in your?
But what's your
spicy
recipe?
or
What's
I'm
your
gonna tell
recipe?
you.
No, but like in your recipe,
Is it
spicy?
spicy or no?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I like it spicy. Yeah,
Okay.
I like it
So
spicy.
you made the one you made
So
for
the
the
one
contest was
that
spicy or
won
no?
the world championship
that one was
of
spicy.
all
Yeah.
Okay.
That one was
international
spicy.
competition
And then-
was spicy.
That was spicy.
And then I got into what toppings do you like in your chili? So I'm like, do you put sour cream in there? Do you put cheese? So we talked about 15 minutes about chili.
Yeah.
But you said you don't. You corn or tortilla.
So I
chips?
won't give out my real recipe, but I will tell you that all I do is cheese. All I put in is cheese.
What about the crackers?
And
I have
then
to
I
have
do
the-
corn
Corn
chips.
chips.
I like
Oh,
corn chips with
okay.
mine.
Okay.
Which, if
I've
you're
done that before.
if you're
It's
tracking
good.
macro, it's really so like my chili actually like it's super low calories, so it's super easy to fit into your macros. The hard part is the corn chips because like I don't just crumble corn chips in. I like literally use it as like a dip.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm talking about like I eat like 70 corn chips, which is like 70 grams of fat. So like,
That's where I'm at too. But and I've done that with. But what's the little crackers?
like the oyster crackers.
Oyster crackers, yeah.
You
So
go
those would
ham
probably
on
be
those.
better macro wise.
Mm-hmm.
Less
Yeah,
those
fat.
those don't have
doesn't
as
have
much
the
fat.
fat. Yeah, as much corn chips do.
Yeah, no, I just thought it was kind of funny because
Yeah,
I never
so-
hear a lot of people eating chili this time of year. Like when fall comes around.
And like my
it's
mom was the
chili's-
same way because I used to make it all the time.
Yeah.
I love chili in the
Yeah.
fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then we're talking about how it's good for leftovers because that's the easiest
Oh,
thing
yeah.
to warm up and have. So.
Oh yeah. It's even
Yeah.
better as leftover because it's like thickened up a little bit. And, oof, so good. I have one more batch. I have one more meal of it at home. I'm gonna have, so
Still from when you made it.
yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
That's an awesome discussion, and I guess I don't know if I've eaten chili in the summer
I don't think I have honestly, but
I know for a fact
Yeah.
that I have.
because I ate it yesterday.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But our craving, speaking of summer, have you ever had a chili like go to a party like a 4th of July
Uh-huh.
party? Have you ever seen chili on the
No.
potluck?
Unfortunately, no, but it should
but
be. I
Zach
don't
could start
see.
something.
I
I mean,
don't
if,
see why
if
it
there's a
wouldn't be,
4th of July
honestly.
party, he could say, "I'm bringing the chili," and people will all be like, "What the?"
Well, no, okay. I'm
But
not
then
gonna
it'll get
go.
cleaned out. I guarantee it.
Oh,
Oh,
it
for
will.
sure it would
And
be
then
because it's
people-
so freaking good.
Yeah.
And like it wouldn't be something that I'd go out like I'm not gonna go eat it on my deck in 100 degrees, no. But like if I eat it
Right.
inside where it's climate controlled.
Isn't that
So-
funny that when we eat something like the same food outside or inside in the heat? Because like think of a steak, because then it's like, well, a steak like that's like a meat and potatoes type food, you know?
Well, right,
like
yeah.
so, but why do people enjoy eating a big old steak, grilling it, and eating it outside in the summer?
It's all
'Cause
about
it's like
it's all
hot.
about being outside to grill.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
the experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
interesting.
don't know. It is. It's an interesting thought.
All right. So now that we
Talk
fixed
about the
the
food
world's
for-
problem
Yeah.
of chili, we'll get into our beer versus seltzer craving. So we had a vote and drum roll. Which one won? I could tell
Seltzers
you.
won. So 20 for seltzers, 8 for beer.
Are you serious? 20 to
Serious.
8?
20 to 8.
Oh my god.
Not even a question.
So that's what like seltzer came on the scene. What 2-3 years ago, something like that.
I didn't even know what seltzer was until like 3 years ago, yeah.
And so since then it just blew up and what taken over beer at like parties and
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
That's insane.
I would, but that's a problem because I like never used to like open up a beer and just have like a beer because it's like fills me up and like I just don't enjoy it anymore because seltzers ruined it. So now like at home I'll have like 2 seltzers because I'm not like bloated, but it feels like it tastes good. It's refreshing in the summer.
The taste good part is like very debatable.
But I
think it's
just
some of
I
those
don't
are
know.
terrible.
Like,
It's awful.
and some of them have zero flavor at all.
No. I think
like
like
it's all preference. Like
the description I heard one time was like, who was it? Someone was describing like a White Claw. They're like it tastes like a Jolly Rancher like dipped into TV static. That's what you're drinking. And that's exactly
That's
what
an
it is
accurate
to me.
description.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
TV
I hate
static.
it.
If I had,
Okay.
if I tasted TV static, that would be
That
a
would
it
be
lot of
depends
those.
on the
seltzers.
flavor. Like
Right, it depends on the
like
flavor.
black cherry.
I've
one
had
is
good
so
ones.
Good. But okay, so here's
I had a
the
good one this
responses.
weekend. Was Bud Light's
Yeah, those are
Freedom
the
one.
the ones with like the tie-dye cans.
Yeah,
You
sponsor
try-
us, Bud Light.
But
Yeah,
but
right.
that might be no free ads. But that might be just because it had a 4th of July can.
No, it's not. It's just those are freaking
hit my
good.
taste buds. What was the flavor that I had? I forget.
There's a bunch of them in there. I don't know. It's a variety pack. I don't know what.
But what was some of those flavors that were some of the best
I
flavors?
don't know. I gotta look it up because you
Okay,
can't
well-
put me on the spot like that.
Well, I thought you were a seltzer connoisseur.
I am, but I don't like.
That's not a connoisseur. Then.
No.
Okay, the retro summer pack.
Okay,
So you had like a cherry limeade.
that wasn't it.
Okay.
I do like cherry
Blue
lemonade. so I could
raspberry
maybe be
I
Or
don't
intrigued.
know.
summer ice.
Summer ice was what
You
it
remember
was.
you're
Summer ice.
colorblind, so I'm sure the same.
Yeah, it was the blue one. It was the summer ice. Yeah, the summer ice
Okay,
was
those
phenomenal.
are really good. Yeah.
What flavor is summer ice? Do we know?
No.
Because it tastes like
Summer
summer.
ice.
It tastes like ice.
I don't know.
So it was
Sounds
delicious.
fantastic.
So.
But I had that after all of my Busch Lights.
I would say,
Yeah,
I bet
I
a
mean,
Busch
anything
Light
after a
tastes
Busch-
way better. Yeah.
No, anything after
me.
Busch Light's gonna taste good.
that might be true. And we drank all of
remember-
our Coors Light the day before, so
It was so funny because you came over to our house with Haley, like when I don't know, in the winter, I think.
Yeah.
We had some of those good winter beers in there, like
Yeah.
the good ones. And Zach comes over and I'm like, do you guys want a beer or anything? We have all these named off all these fancy ones.
Yeah.
And we're like, and Coors Light or Busch Light? He's like, I think I'll take it just Coors Light. I'm
A
like,
Busch
really?
Light.
Or a Busch
If-
Light?
If given the
Whatever we
option,
had
I would
in
choose
there.
Busch Light any
I'm like,
day
you
of
want
the
a Busch
week.
Light over all these beers? I was
Absolutely,
like, yeah.
I do. Yeah. When we went to Kinship, I feel so bad because I know that like all the craft beer people just hate me when I go there.
oh yeah.
Because like even at Kinship and every craft brewery, if I have to go there, and I really like Kinship actually. It was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
But I used to ask them like, what's like the most similar to Busch Light that you could give me?
right.
And whatever they gave me was pretty good.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure they
Craft
get it a
beer.
lot though.
I don't know. This is Iowa, so
Right.
I'm sure
right,
they do,
yes.
yeah.
And
But
not,
it's also
like, in this-
Des Moines, Iowa.
true.
So
Good point.
in Des Moines, I feel
Good
like
point.
Des Moines is like the
It's
craft beer.
Des Moines loves
Yeah,
craft
that's
beer.
true.
Yeah, Des Moines
The,
loves
the
craft
culture
beer.
of Des Moines is very, very. What's the word I'm looking for? Hipster, yeah.
Yeah,
very
Des Moines
hipster.
loves their craft beer.
And
There's breweries popping up everywhere,
Yeah.
but
Uh-huh.
not for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I'll take a Busch Light any day.
take a Busch Light. Where's Busch Light brewed?
St. Louis,
Is it?
Anheuser-Busch. Yeah,
Anheuser-Busch, nice.
Yep.
Yeah. I've been
Sponsor
through that
us.
plant.
Busch Light.
sponsor us. It's actually the same as Budweiser. So Anheuser-Busch sponsor us.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, I've actually been through. We had a football tournament in 8th grade, and we went through the Anheuser-Busch.
Oh, yeah.
Or the Anheuser, because they
Factory
had
thing.
the factory. Yeah, they had the Clydesdales and stuff down there.
Yeah,
Cool.
I've been there too, but I was like 7. So
Yeah.
All right,
Unfortunately.
responses. Ain't no laws when drinking claws.
well,
that's the tagline.
classic.
And then there was a laughing face. White Claw because the flavor is subtle and not too sweet, which I agree with because it was.
It's
they're-
very subtle.
Yeah.
Very subtle.
I want sweet though. Like for
I
me,
don't.
if
But
it
then you
tastes like
need
a
to-
monster, I would be drunk right now.
You need the truly lemonades then.
But it's not sweet enough. That is
That is so sweet.
not sweet enough for me.
Someone
I just
said-
need a gummy worm and a monster, and then if it tastes like any of those things, I'm good. Or Mike and Ike.
Vodka, I hate anything carbonated. Seltzer tastes like bubbly rubbing alcohol.
Yeah,
That's-
That's
there you go.
Michael,
very, very
or
similar,
Britt
yeah.
Michael said that.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
A lot of
Actually,
flavors, but like I said, there are decent flavors that I could stand.
Your sister said
after
Truly
several
Punch. It has the
Busch Lights.
most flavor.
Well, I assume
mean-
that she only has 4 months of drinking experience, and she
So
just turned
she did-
21.
Yeah,
So
I was gonna say she's
That's
a
true.
young
She
one.
never drank before she was
no.
21.
So what does
that's
she
good.
know?
She probably has a lot of experience now because in 4 months she got to try a lot of things.
In 4 months, she probably drank more than I have in the last 10 years.
That's probably
Truly
accurate.
lemonade. Yeah.
and that's for any 21-year-old.
Truly lemonades, and then Brian White said Appleton rum or Jack Daniel's whiskey, 0 carbs.
Ooh, I'm
I'm a whiskey guy.
I like whiskey. Yeah.
I'm a
like
big
whiskey.
whiskey guy. If you can give me a just
But
straight,
he's not counting as alcohol carbs, so we gotta have a conversation.
Yeah, I mean,
there's
you have
0
to,
carbs, but the alcohol.
There are
does count.
calories.
But if I drink, I'm gonna get more or just the same effect if I drink a glass of whiskey, comparatively to if I drink 3. To get that feeling, I'm going to drink 3 White Claws or 3 beers, and then I'm going to have the same amount of calories,
Right.
probably more over here on the beer or White Claw. So that's why I like, and I'll just drink it, no ice or nothing.
And then Damen, Dixon, who we'll just get into right after
Yeah.
this,
Okay. Nice. Good
said,
transition.
I know, I saved it for the last one. Truly Punch or Mango White Claw for sure.
For sure. Okay.
For
So.
And
sure.
he's
And
yeah.
that's coming from the Athlete of the Week. He was the championship winner on the guys' side. So shout out to Damen Dixon. He crushed. The most impressive thing is just the hops of this kid. He's like if you see him. So we had our challenge last season, and our challenge last season had bench jump overs, and everyone else land jump. Like he was jumping before he hit the ground.
Right, I don't
Yeah,
understand.
he's very springy.
It just springy. That's
Very springy.
exactly what it was. So we had several challenges inside of the championship that looked like that, and he ran away with it.
Which is okay. So
but
disclaimer.
then he also, sorry to
That's
interrupt. Back to the challenges, he beat everyone. His best was 53. The second best was yours truly and several other athletes at 206.
No, Keith had a 2-minute one. 2
Oh, did
minutes
he?
flat, yeah. So
Oh, I didn't see it. When did he get that one?
at the championship, he had a 2-minute flat.
I don't think so.
Did he?
I know for a
I thought he
fact.
lost to Damen by like a couple seconds. No.
Yeah,
Let's call him.
he got
Let's-
2 minutes
he lost.
flat though.
Should we call Keith?
Should we
Give
call
him a
Keith?
call?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Give Keith a call right
No,
now.
but did he get it too
Yeah.
flat? Because that pisses me off.
I think he did.
Can you pull up Club
okay.
Ready? Give
I'm
me
pretty
his
sure. Oh,
number?
I just texted him the other day.
Because then
Or
I was
yeah,
gonna
pull up
redo it if
pull
I
up voice
didn't
and
get
let's call him
second.
on Google.
Anyway, so
But-
Damen beat everybody, even if he had a 2 second. He beat everybody for a 2 minute. He beat everybody by at least 7 seconds in the top 10.
yeah, he like
So that was-
dominated.
And
So you know what's
throughout the
funny
season,
about
it
all
was
this?
10 seconds. Yeah.
He came from Kansas City. He was in Kansas City that weekend drinking with buddies, and he got up and he's like, "Guys, I have to get back for the championship." So
Right.
he
Here's his
was.
number.
He said he was struggling on the way home from the championship, but to the championship. Isn't that so
That's
funny?
funny. And then, and that's the glories of being whatever 20 something years old.
Oh
But,
yeah, you can just wake up and rally.
But yeah, but then he
0-2.
so yeah, so if you don't know Damen, we did a little interview on him, so he's on all of our social media. So you can go check out that post.
But he's very he's just such a good sport about everything.
He's a
like
good egg.
he makes
He's a good
everything look
kid.
super easy, right? It's like
It's crazy, yeah.
it's crazy.
Springy is a
yeah.
great word.
Springy, yeah.
But then
He
so when he
hops
started,
like
he
crazy.
considers himself a
Fast
fast
food
food.
connoisseur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Tyler loves Amigos, which is in Nebraska, and so we had the championship. Then afterwards, hey, is this Keith?
Yeah.
This is Amber from Krave.
You're live on air.
You're live on air on the podcast. Are you in a work meeting or not?
No, not in a work meeting.
Should you be?
Are you sleeping?
There's a podcast.
Yeah, there's a
What?
Keith, I have told you this in announcements every week.
Well, anyways, we're on the Crave podcast. We're gonna cut that out and act like you know what the fuck's going on around here. So we have a question. We're talking about the championship, and you were the the Waukee champion. So what was your time on the rower?
2 minutes flat.
2
Did
minutes
it? Damn.
flat. Woo!
Yeah, see, there we
All
go.
I thought I had second place wrapped. Well, until the championship, I had second place wrapped up myself, tied a couple athletes with 206. So
We didn't have the sheets out here to see what.
So I was
what
pleased
you
That's how
got,
we just
so-
call instead.
Yeah. So we wanted to call.
6 was my time before.
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. All
You
right.
beat it. Okay.
Thanks for picking up. We appreciate you.
Thanks, Keith. See you, dude.
Listen to our podcast. Okay. Bye.
All right.
I
Yes.
think so with that one.
So we so he was gonna drive to by Zach
Yep,
in
see
a
ya.
little bit. He was gonna drive all the way to Nebraska and go get Amigos to see if he
Right.
really thought that it was as good as you said it was.
Yeah.
So oh, good stuff.
All
Yeah,
right.
2 minutes flat.
Damn it. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, and Damen still got 155 on
Okay.
the day of the championship.
Yeah.
After being
Nuts.
hungover and crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But yeah, so huge shout out to the athlete of the week, Damen. So let's get into the new season. So the new season is striking season. So we are in the middle of our free week training camp. If you haven't yet and you're watching this, you want to try it out, come try it out for free. This week is free. This season, our goal, our emphasis is striking. Our power partner is Hometown Heroes. So everything that we do is a striking emphasis in working out. And then we have our Hometown Hero, which is our first responders, police officers, firefighters, and military that we're honoring and donating to some events. We're also doing a couple different events. We have our, do you know the dates on the, we have our trench run, which is
the weekend the fair starts. So that's
which
August
is Iowa
14th.
August 14th, which is
or the 15th. I think it's on Sunday. So.
15th. Yeah, it's a Sunday.
Yep.
And
The
and so
weekend
we have,
before that is Iowa Cubs.
and then the Iowa Cubs is on the 7th. So we have an Iowa Cubs outing that for $25 you get a t-shirt and you get a ticket to the game, and we're just going to hang out, and then proceeds from that event will go to different organizations representing the Hometown Heroes. And then the trench run is put on by the National Guard, Iowa National Guard, and that is the event for the next weekend. So both of those events are something that we'll be doing outside of the gym as a team.
And is it at Living History Farms again? That's where it's always been.
Not Living History Farms.
Oh, it's
no.
not.
It's at Fort Dodge.
Oh yes. Okay.
Yeah.
That's where it's
In the
always
trenches.
been.
That's where it's always
Okay.
been. Yeah. So we'll meet out there. You actually run through the trenches, through the river, and
It's
the
a
entire
10K,
time
yeah.
it's pretty cool because the entire time you're also like helicopters are flying over, blanks are being shot. You feel like you're kind of in war, and people are getting like a helicopter drops down and like they basically pretend they're doing drills like someone's injured, so they like pull that person up, get them into the helicopter and go. They pick up like Humvees and they're going over your head with like a Humvee attached to the helicopter, and they drive by it. So it's a cool
And it's
event.
cool because there's different obstacles throughout it too. So
Yeah.
it kind of breaks up just running a 10K.
Right.
So it's a lot of fun. You go through that house and you
Yep. You basically
Carry
get kind of a
what-
farmer, kind of a farmer's carry that's supposed to be basically,
like a bag,
it was hoses.
hoses.
Yeah. So you got a big hose, but it was supposed to replicate like holding someone on your shoulder or dragging someone.
That's pretty cool.
You get to do some different stuff like that. So it's an awesome event. We had a great turnout last year. We want to do the same thing. All of this will be linked below the YouTube page, but then we also send out an email and we also have it on our blog. So if you go to kravegym.blog or if you go to kravegym.com and hit blog, you can go into our blog, and links for all of these different things are available. So into the season goals inside of the gym. So we are in striking season. So we want to improve our striking form and improve our combos and everything. So we go through a lot more in depth with how you should be striking the bag. We also have a second round where we have mitts and or shields. So the partners are basically striking through those shields, and we're working on some speed strikes. We're working on the mitts where we're actually doing a little bit more of our, quote unquote sparring with your partner and hitting those mitts. So it's a lot of fun there. In strength, we're hitting our 8 to 10 rep range, which is a middle rep range. So we're working on going as heavy as possible. We're back to, in strength in the racks, we're back to the entire 7 minutes, which during that 7 minutes, we are getting 5 sets in. So you want to make sure that you give yourself about a minute rest in between sets, going as heavy as you can. Hit that 8 to 10 reps. If you can hit 10 and it's too easy, or you can hit 10, even if you hit 10, you should be going up so that you get to the bottom of that rep range in the 8 for that. But yeah, so then we get into the clock has changed. If you've been in, you've already seen that. We have 3 minutes and then halftime and then another 3 minutes. So what that does for us up front is in endurance, we're just back to steady state. In strength, we're back to the entire, in the racks, we're back to the entire time. In the power blocks though, we have 3 set EMOM, which is many reps as you can. 3 sets of every minute on the minute, 8 to 10 reps still.
Yep.
So what that means is you'll get your 8 to 10 reps in. When minute 2 hits, you'll get 8 to 10 reps in. When minute 3 hits, you'll get 8 to 10 reps in. Then we'll hit halftime, and then we'll switch up the movement to another movement where we got 3 sets, 8 to 10 in.
And then one thing too with this is the lifting cards. So make sure when those lifting cards come out next week, you guys are, taking a lifting card and writing down your weight. Because what that does is it prevents you from, spending time or wasting time when you start your first set of that minute to figure out what weight you're even at. So that way you can get done with a set, say you did 8 to 9 reps and held that form, write that weight down, and the next time you come in, you know exactly what weight you're at. And then you will want to, hopefully you can see your progression throughout the 8 weeks. So by the time the 8 weeks is up, you increase by 5-10 pounds. Okay, so that should be your goal. So anytime you're hitting that, I think this is so important. And yes, as coaches, we can see if something looks too light or too heavy for you, if your form's bad. But for the most part, you guys have to have that mindfulness of, where that weight feels, or if you feel like you can go heavier, and that is up to the athlete to really push themselves to add more weight, even if it's just 2.5, 5 pounds. Make sure you guys are pushing for that 8 to 10 rep range.
Yes, and so this season we also have. We already did those. We already talked about the events. So
yeah.
So this season, make sure we're paying attention to our striking, make sure we're getting as much out of that as possible. Now that the striking goals are multifaceted. So the goals that you get from striking is power, speed, and endurance. So we want to make sure that you're driving through the bag, you're creating that power, you're going the entire time, creating that endurance, and you're going as fast as you can, having that speed, and that's going to work. That upper body gets you rolling that way, and really push to create and achieve those goals throughout this striking season. Striking is a lot of times, if you don't practice it, you don't feel comfortable, it's a lot of times a spot where some people take rest and they're going through the motions. So this season especially, learn as much as you can, go through the combinations, go through everything as fast, as hard as you can, punching through the bag, not to the bag. And when you're doing a shields, you're punching to the shield, not through the shield. So it's opposite, but you're doing speed work when you get on the shields and the mitts and stuff. So it's an awesome season, and we'll be having those events as well outside of the gym. And talking about mindfulness again. Mindfulness is our word of the week, so we'll transition into that. But that is going to be basically something that you have to focus on, and that was another one of our words of the week, and it kind of relates to mindfulness, but focusing on what's going on in the moment when you're in striking season. So during that striking section, during that specific combo, you should be really concentrating on what you should be doing in each one of those punches or kicks, and you should be really concentrating on the mindfulness of your form and training the way that you need to train for that specific movement. So that's kind of a reason why we are talking about mindfulness today. But on top of that, mindfulness, the definition is the quality of state of being conscious and aware of something, which today we're basically going to be talking outside of the gym. I guess it's going to correlate to both, but being present in the current moment is really the definition that we're using for mindfulness, and enjoying, and it kind of goes along with enjoying the process. And if you aren't enjoying the moment that you're in currently, or you can't slow things down to enjoy and think about what's going on in the moment, then everything that we've talked about in the past when it comes to your goals, when it comes to success in life, all of that stuff, if you don't enjoy the moment, and this is something I really need to work on, because I'm very process oriented and future oriented, and I always feel if I'm not making progress this instant, that I'm failing, or that I need to do something immediately to further my goal or further the business, or do something in that regard, which makes it hard, at times to just be present in what's happening right now
and enjoy how far you've come.
And having those moments to where it's simply being the quote that we have is, mindfulness is simply being aware of what is happening right now without wishing things were different. So it's just taking that inventory. And so that's another thing that we have as far as we always put in action steps with the word of the week. So the action steps this week, number one is stop giving attention to all of your thoughts, right? So that what that means is we think of things all day, every day, right? And we're completely, at least I am, always rattling off different things in my mind that, oh, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this. This is a future goal that I need to do. And in order to get to that, I need to do that today, or I need to do this. If I'm driving home, I need to do this, right when I get home in order to do this so that I can hang out with the kids. And then so I'm just constantly going. But what happens is you almost paralyze yourself with all of those different thoughts. And so if you can stop that constant carousel of thoughts and stop giving your attention to thoughts that don't matter in this moment, then you can simplify things a lot, which gets a lot more done.
Right. It's just so weird how the mind works, because I've noticed that with you. Like, it's just, you're always going, and then you come home and you're just so exhausted, right?
Yeah, and that's,
and
yeah.
But I'm trying to think of like what, my mind just doesn't work that way. But I also am not I don't have the mindset of a business owner, I would say.
You do.
To some extent, but
yeah.
not to your degree, right?
Yeah.
And so I don't think my mind, I know, it's just weird because I don't think my mind just works like that. Like I do good if I have like a list and I need to get these things done.
Right.
But like I don't know, it's just, you are that way too.
I work off the list, but then I'm constantly in my mind tacking on things to that list.
Right.
So then I cross off 2 things and I've already in my mind added 4 things. And so like, to me, I think that this is a big thing with the mindfulness is, especially when like, it's weird because I have kind of this brain fog, and it's almost like exhaust to me. It's like my brain fills with the exhaust of the engine running all day. And so by the time I do get home, I'm like fogged out. It's just covered in exhaust. I haven't let the exhaust out and just
100%.
relax for a second. You know what I mean? And so
but
that's
then,
one thing.
It's not. Then you get home though, and it's like, all right,
and then
dinner,
it's
and
crazy,
it's like
yeah.
And then by the time,
which is where we're at in our life. So that's not a huge difference.
It's
but
a different type of exhaustion too.
Yeah.
So at least it can kind of get your mind off of it. But it's just.
So number one, try to stop giving attention to a lot of those thoughts that you don't need at this moment. Right? This moment is what mindfulness is about. And if you get home and you're hanging out with the kids, don't worry about about the
work that didn't get done.
The work that didn't get done throughout the day, or
again,
what.
Easier said than done, but something to work on to get better at
and
it.
just simplify things like that. Number 2, that this second action is taking inventory and living in the moment. And what that means is basically just like you would take inventory in a business, like you have X amount of products, right? Taking inventory in your life and saying, okay, I've done X amount of things and I can live in this moment right now. So a good example of this to me is like yard work or doing. So right now we're gonna do a back porch. I built a shed with help from my dad, and so with those things, I'm hoping to get to a point where I need to take inventory on what I can sit and enjoy and not worry about the next thing that needs to be done in the yard. Because there's always going to be something that's bothering me, that's something that's the next thing that needs to happen. We need to build this, and I'm completely already doing it, but after this porch gets built, I need to build a wall around a portion of it so we have seating around a fire pit, blah, 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 right? But if I constantly think about those things and I'm not able to just sit on the porch and enjoy the porch, then
patio
why
or
do
porch?
it? Patio.
Porch?
The porch is like an outdoor thing.
I was
patio.
like, I don't think we're building a porch.
Patio.
But
Yeah, you're right.
I was like, well, maybe they can mean the same thing, but I don't think so.
No, you're right. Patio is what we're going for. So,
but you're right. It's like, I just can't, because I was outside with the kids last night and we have that one cement area and I was like, I can't wait for the whole thing to be done. But then when that whole thing is done, I'm going to want something else probably. But it's just being mindful in that time.
And taking inventory and really sitting and living in the moment so that you can enjoy, like, life's too short to, and this has been hitting me as I get older, is life's too short to be constantly about progress because if you are always about progress for your entire life and then you die, you never enjoyed any of the steps of the progression. You know what I mean? And then that's
So
not
true.
a happy life. And so mindfulness, being mindful of the things that you have done or the things that you have accomplished, you know, is, and it can be as small as like cleaning your house, right? So like if you have a day where you're cleaning your apartment or your house and you clean the living room and the kitchen and it's really good, but you haven't gotten and it's the day's over, you haven't gotten to the bedroom yet. If you sit in the living room that's nice and clean and it feels good, right? But now you're just constantly thinking about the mess in the bedroom, like you're not enjoying the cleanliness of what you just did that whole day. And if you just sat, relaxed, took inventory, I did all of these things. This area feels really good. This area is clean right now. And I'm going to sit and enjoy this area for 5 minutes before I go to bed. Doing that is mindfulness versus ruining that feeling and just thinking about something else. You know what I mean? The next thing on the list. So I know a lot of what we talk about here is, pushing to make goals and accomplish the next thing and do this and do this. But if you're not enjoying the steps and enjoying the process and being mindful of what you have accomplished along the way, then it's very difficult to have the happiness that at the end of the day, as a human, we're looking for in life. You know.
Are you done with the steps on those? Or-
Yes.
okay.
Yep.
And
Those two things.
Yep. And I think
Stop giving attention to your every thought that you have, and then take inventory of what you've already.
And I
accomplished.
saw it a lot after COVID. People would come into the gym and they'd be like, oh, well, I've taken this much time off, 5-6 months. And then they come in for their first training session and then they feel so out of shape and they think back in the day when they were in the best shape of their lives and how they're not there yet. And we can't do that. We have to be mindful of where we're at right now,
Right.
Because we can't go back to that. And if you keep dwelling on that stuff, you're never going to be happy,
And
or
especially
you're never
think
going to
about,
like your progress moving forward
Right.
because you can't get yourself there.
and it might even hinder
So,
you from
right.
coming in. You're like, oh, I'm not in shape right now. I'm not going to go work out because I don't feel like I did a year ago.
Right. But we have to be mindful that you are showing up for yourself now. You are going to start to make progress and you will get back there, probably faster than you think. It's just those first couple sessions of getting your body back to it is always hard.
Right.
But your body will bounce back pretty fast if you were consistent before with working out and exercise and stuff like that. But, just those little mind shifts that we can make with ourselves, will help you in the future.
Definitely.
But,
Awesome. Well, again, thanks so much. Do we have anything else to close it out? I think that's it.
I don't think the supplements, we talk about that.
Oh yes, that's one of the announcements that we had. So, mindfulness, take those 2 action steps, taking inventory, and then mentally not giving attention to every single one of your thoughts. Those are 2 things we're going to work on this week. But we do have a couple of announcements, some shifts in some deals that we are going to give to all of our athletes and essentially lose our ass on a little bit, but it's worth it.
Worth it.
So we don't, the bottom line with supplements, as a gym, we don't make a ton of money off of supplements. But what they can do is they can optimize your training and keep you in the gym, and so that's why we want to make sure that everybody is consistent with supplements, that is taking supplements. And so with that, we've decided to do a subscription supplement service basically. And so each season we have supplement packs that optimize the training for that season. So in striking season, we have protein and pre-workout. So those 2 things are what can optimize your training. For example, in endurance season, we're having a electrolyte BCAA and protein. So those things come in the pack. Now you can always go above and beyond and get more than what's in the pack. But the pack is basically worth $150 and it's adding, and it's a 2-month supply. It adds $50 a month to yours. So you're basically saving 33% on every single supplement that you would get in that pack. And moving forward, you would just be on a subscription. So then every single season you show up and Jimmy has his supplement sitting out on the table ready for him on the first day of the season, and he can get back in and stay consistent, so that you're not having to make an extra trip to a different store to buy these expensive
or not
supplements
knowing
and
what
that
you're
stuff.
needing for that season.
Keep it simple. Yeah. So we provide the workouts for you. We provide all of that stuff, the coaching, everything like that. Now we can provide the simplified supplements to help you on the top end of that.
It's a lost connection.
Hopefully that we still have connection. I think it's just recording. So,
Okay.
so we have that. We also have nutrition. Nutrition, again, same thing for 2 months worth. We have it's $150, but if you're on the reoccurring for nutrition, it's $50 a month. So that saves you 33% to be on your subscription service. And we're doing those two things, just simplifying the entire process and giving you guys the option and the savings that you deserve to be on there. So yes, so that's it for the announcements. Remember, if you do watch this on YouTube, please hit subscribe. If you're listening to this on on any of the podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, or Spotify, if you're listening to this, please go to YouTube and subscribe, as well as hitting us a like and giving us 5-star on there. All of those things, if you enjoy this information, that's all that we ask. We don't make any money on the or on the podcast, but we want to give you the information that we can. And in order to give you and more people information, all we ask is that you do a couple things for us. Tell a friend and subscribe and like on social media. It's super easy, but that's what you can do to help us as a small business. Instead of charging for this information or putting it into a program and charging for it, we are giving it out for free, but we want help in doing that to more people. So please hit subscribe, get that subscription number up so we can do some more cool things, because YouTube is interesting. They have kind of unlocks with different things that you can do on that platform at certain levels of subscriptions. And so we're trying to get that up. So if you can do that for us, please do that. And remember, you're an athlete, live like it.
Bye, guys.
Born an athlete, you'll die an athlete. It's in your DNA.
Live like an athlete so that you can be successful in life.
You're an athlete. Live like it.
ANA, America needs athletes.